Hello everyone, welcome to a new commentary. This is finally another presentation I'm doing. However, there's not going to be any other sides of the show besides this, because one, I can't be asked. Two, I don't think it should be there, right? Like, it's a serious topic. I'm not making a presentation with a fucking title, an end card, my usual commentary, like advertisement board thing. No, fucking no, I'm not doing that. I just wanted to just talk, and I want to do this for a while, and then I just never got a chance to do it. And I thought, hey, I'll do Pride Month, right? But no, I don't want to do it, and I don't want to wait over a month, just for June. I'm gonna do it now, and so for context, what this is about, I mean, as you can tell, it's relating to LGBTQ plus representation. I know the text generator just doesn't have symbols, so I'm just acknowledging that now. Albeit it's not something. What the plus represents is nothing that the official MK NetherRealm Studios will ever look into. I don't really know literally any of the terms the plus is in the plus. I mean, I can't remember. I know what it's in the list. I can't remember how it's ordered. But besides the point, right? I just want to clarify that. And I also want to clarify that I am bisexual. So I've done loads of research on fucking LGBTQ plus related stuff. So I feel I'm qualified. I'm not qualified, obviously not actually qualified, but I feel I know what I'm talking about here, right? Unlike some channels, for Snake, right? One of his popular videos is saying Mortal Kombat X nailed LGBT representation. This is so infuriating. Like, so I might as well. I have some points. That's how I've ordered it. So let's get this out of the way. I'm gonna start by covering canon Mortal Kombat stuff. Well, just official MK in general. Stuff that is in official MK products. Like what little there is. I'm gonna cover that. And then we're going to move on to some headcanons and just general ideas. And just because they could do more, they could do better. So we'll start with MKX. Now, MKX is definitely where it's most... Actually, no. Let's go back. Let's go further back. Mortal Kombat Conquest had Kiri and Anka, a couple of... these two Saurians in like basically the idea is they're in human disguises, and they're like clearly like a couple. They're even like about to have sex in one scene, but Noob Saibot shows up and interrupts them. Yes, that is a scene that happened. Fucking wild. The issue is, you didn't know about Mortal Kombat Conquest. It's a very sexist show, and this representation is just to, just for sex appeal. It's just two women kissing. I don't think they actually kiss, but like the implications and stuff. I think that's the only intention of it. Especially since this was a show in the 90s. I don't think there was any goodwill here. I mean, it's not, for what it is, it's not terrible. Like Conquest issue is that it's sexist. I don't think like homophobia is really a huge deal here. But yeah, it's not great, but this is the first showing of representation in Mortal Kombat. And it's a far more obscure one that not many people know about, but it's definitely there. So it wasn't even Mortal Kombat X that started things. So I feel like NRS have tried to take that credit for themselves, but no, it's not them. But yeah, we didn't get any more LGBT representation until Mortal Kombat X, and so we have 3 characters in this game. There's another that comes in. I think we'll get to her. But we have Kung Jin. Now, Kung is probably, I don't know. He has the best LGBT, like the best scene that relates to sexuality. That scene with Raiden is really good as its own thing. Like just in general, for like a character moment in general. Also Raiden saying gay rights is kind of cool. But the thing is, it's really subtle, and I've seen people like Snake praise this. No, you should not be praising this. The subtlety is good as a thing that is done along with more clearer stuff. The problem with the representation in Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11 is the representation for homosexual characters, lesbian characters, bisexual characters, is that... Well, I don't think that is lesbian characters, actually. I think it's just Jin, who's gay, and then 3 who are bisexual. So we haven't even, like, ranged our field. Also, Kiri and Anka, to be more specific, I think are bisexual. I think there's also a thing with Reptile going on with them. So I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know if it's like a poly. I don't know if one's also interested in Reptile. I don't know. Which is why I've kind of moved on from that. Because I don't know the specifics. I just know they're definitely fucking. So, yeah. But Jin. So that seems good. With Raiden. But that's all he's got relating to his sexuality in the main story. He's got like 2 intro dialogues that are really subtle and could imply literally anything else. And I think one is supposed to be implying something else. Because basically, one of them would suggest Liu Kang's homophobia. Liu Kang's homophobic, sorry. If it's relating to sexuality. So yeah, he says, "I'm aware of your proclivities." In response to Jin saying, "You never could accept me." So yeah, if that's referring to the sexuality, that is terrible. You've made basically the character you want to push as your main hero, which I don't agree with, by the way, but that is the case, right? Liu Kang is the main hero, and you're implying he's a homophobe. Not good. And then the other one is just him telling Tanya, "You're barking up the wrong tree," when she's hitting on him, which, yeah, that's not really anything either, is it? So speaking of Tanya is bisexual. Something that's become more known is that because of their intro dialogues, is that Tanya and Molina are a couple. Presumably Molina and Baraka were implied to also be a couple before. However, that one's not really been established as canonical. But the idea is that she's with Baraka, but Molina, not Tanya, Molina was with Baraka, but Baraka's actually dead, and she's moved on to Tanya, and it's a really cute ship idea. I think they could both really elevate the characters. I've seen it been done in fanfics like Mortal Kombat Requiem. I will get into stuff that do representation good. There's lots of it, and it's done well. It's handled with respect and not really subtle, just so you can publish it in other countries. And the rest, fuck you. I think Mortal Kombat, just for being Mortal Kombat, is banned in a lot of countries anyway, so I don't. So actually, that's probably not the reason in this case. Whereas it would be for something like Disney. Yeah, fuck Disney as well. But it's not about Disney. I don't really care for Disney. But like fucking so Tanya and Molina, they don't have any story stuff about a relationship. They don't really get anything in story in general though. Which is unfortunate. The only thing there is Molina calling Tanya dearest, and once again that could not even relate to them being in love, right? that could just mean close friend or something. So, and that's just subtle in general. So again, it's just too subtle. It's something that no one would have picked up. No one would even see. This is canon information if writers on Twitter or whoever, working at NRS at the time, went on Twitter. I can't remember who it was, but they went to Twitter to confirm it. The fact that you need to go to Twitter to confirm this, and that it's not as clearly established to the audience, is not good. And I basically covered Molina there. Just with Tanya implied in intro dialogue and that one little line in the story. So yeah, and the main problem with Salty is it's not only just that, like, it's, I don't know, it's even for LGBT people. My discourse of it is full of people in that community, and basically all of them agree that it is not noticeable at first experience. And it wasn't for me, albeit I wasn't thinking much about LGBT stuff around that time. So I'm not going to vouch for that myself. But I mean, I didn't pick it up. I didn't notice this myself. But yeah, I again, I have an actual reason why I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, so that basically sums up MKX. And obviously, like I said, the main problem is not just Salty, but also, well, Salty being one of the main problems, because, God, where are my fucking words? I should have wrote a full script. I have bullet points on it. Sorry if it takes me a bit too far to construct this, but so like, the Salty's bad because if you look at heterosexual shit, by the way, there's no established straight character. If a character's been in an opposite sex relationship, that doesn't mean they are an LGBTQ plus rep. They could be bi, they could be pan, and obviously there's all the other stuff they could be, right? So every character is on the table to be some representation, right? So you could do a lot, I think of the most franchise, it's just heavily ignored in most. And the same goes for MK. So if you compare it to the straight ships, they get to have open, important love stuff. Not kind of important, like prominent stuff like Johnny X, Sonya, Lou X Katana, something that reoccurs even in movies. That's reoccurring stuff. It keeps showing up in stories. Takeda X Jackie, and I ship the only interracial couple I think we have. Actually, Kenshi and Suchin are multicultural, but like a black woman, and Takeda's part fucking Asian, so you know what I mean. So like that's a neat ship. I like that. A nice moment at the end of MKX. Then Takeda disappeared from Mortal Kombat 11. Why weren't all the Kombat kids on MK11? No one will ever know. Actually, I do know. It's because people didn't like him, and NRS are fucking morons who cater to morons. So they halved them and picked the two less popular ones. I think Cassie's like the second popular one. Takeda's down the most popular one. Takeda should have been there. I think you need to have all of them or none of them, right? Like it's a package deal. You can't cut them in half. Really dumb. I'm glad they kept Jackie around though for 11. I think Jackie gains a lot from MK11. And gains someone else because in MK11 she is established as bisexual as well, seemingly. Again, for very subtle stuff. And also this one hasn't been confirmed for her. This is the thing. These are so subtle that I can't say 100% until they're established on Twitter, right? The only obvious one is Curry and Anka, and that's just because they do sexual stuff to each other, because it's a horny show. So fucking, so Jackie, she, the nice show one, she has a pride jacket, which is like a really neat skin. That's one thing. So she's at least an ally, right? An LGBT ally, which is cool. I like that. Friends with Jin and whatnot. That makes sense. But also, when the Molina DLC came out, there is an intro dialogue where Molina hits on Jackie, and Jackie, she seems kind of interested. Again, I think that furthers the implications that she's bisexual. Like this isn't confirmed. But like with the MKX stuff, I think this is like how they imply stuff with characters hitting on each other. That's their main go-to. So yeah, Jackie being bi. Neat. Why not, Like, that's cool. More of the Kombat kissing bi would be good because they can have those talks with Jin. They can relate on that level, You could do something like that. There's one example about beneficial having more representation in KGB, having more blatant representation. Because I seen complaints, right, on like stuff that was in your face representation, but the thing is, to people in that community, usually it's something meaningful to them. Whereas to other viewers, they may find it obnoxious or whatever. Sometimes it might just be because they don't like ships in general, so if they say too much of it. But yeah, it's usually with specifically a lot of LGBT ships. But usually when it's not so and it's really out there, that's done because whoever's developing it, working on it, cares. I 9 times out of 10, I don't think it's for just good publicity. Like, that wouldn't make sense. You're making an entire show or a movie. You won't do it just for some brownie points on Twitter saying that you stan gay people. Like, no, they just care. That's the difference. Mortal Kombat doesn't care. They don't care about the story. Actually, yeah, they don't care about the story in general. They sure as shit don't care about the representation. If you just look at the straight couples, and all the intro dialogue that just implies heterosexual stuff. Scarlet and Natara established to have slept with Eren. Why do we need to know this? Frost and Rain hitting on each other in a random intro. Shao Kahn being a fucking rapist. Same for Sindel. Collector, gross. Kano, there's perverts in this and whatnot. So I'm glad they aren't represented anything. Albeit, I think they should just be asexual, aromantic. Like, they're just solution to the rapist characters. Just do that. And I don't think that's like good representation for those characters. Obviously, that's when Swordty comes into play. You don't need to tell me Shao Kahn's sexuality. It's Shao Kahn. He doesn't care about love. I have some good asexual, aromantic characters. I think for Raicho or Raiden, both. Have both, why not? Can help be really good representatives for that. And I'm sure there's like a lot of other characters, gods, anything. But like if you want like a human character, I like you can pick and choose. However you want, however you feel, right? Those are just the two who spring to my mind. I can't even explain why, but yeah, those are good reps. And there's a lot who are just probably aromantic and asexual by default of what their character is. So obviously you don't use that to represent that, but that's what they would be because they don't have a particular interest in love. So that's what they would identify as, right? So that's how I'm categorizing it. So yeah, you could do that. Actually, they haven't even thought about all the other LGBTQ plus representation stuff. They've just been thinking about sexuality and sexuality for just 4 characters. So I didn't mention it before, but I did mention Molina hits on a lot of characters, and this is really bad. This follows the bisexual stereotype that bi people are really horny, hence why they're just into both to both men and women, as well as the seeming implications of, well, it's not intentional implications, but because there's so much fucking Molina hitting on people, even in MK11 when it's established that Tanya's dead and she still cares about that and still wants revenge, she's still hitting on men. And then Jackie, who finally had a hitting on a woman, yeah, and that's the thing, it's mainly her hitting on men, which is really odd. She even has a round wind taunt where she fucking does this sexy pose or whatever, and then says, "I saw you staring." This line cannot play against any women characters, but she's a bi character. Why does that limitation make any sense? Also, I don't think this is good. I don't think we should have Molina just hitting on every woman character as well. I just think you need to stop having Molina be so horny. It's your solution. It's a really bad character trait, and in terms of like being an LGBT rep, Canon Molina is not a good pick. I like the concepts in MKX of her being with Tanya and the reasons why they're so close to each other. Molina wanting to free Tanya. Tanya wanting Tanya to be free is really nice. Also, I think, again, them being together would help strengthen their characters. But, yeah, it's really odd how this is Molina who hits on everyone. It's just not good. It plays into so many stereotypes. She's a walking bisexual stereotype. That's what my boyfriend Emily has said several times, and she is engaged to another woman. So yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Like the thing is, the people who hate the representation MKX most are probably LGBT people themselves. Because yeah. It's just bad. So I don't know who it's appealing to. I mean, I know what they're trying, but it's not. It's just fucking bad. So that's my summary. It's just terrible. I can comic book this, so let me know. But again, I just think it's really bad, and it's actually being homophobic in terms of making sexuality subtle when the straight couples. There's so many of them that clearly they're dominating what you see, and it's much more obvious. They don't care for subtlety in the heterosexual stuff. Which again, when you write LGBT characters, you need to treat them as equal to the heterosexual stuff. Because that's the whole point of representation. It's for equality. It's not equality if you're being really hushy about this and saying, hey, you can be gay, but shh, don't tell anyone. Like no, that's fucked up. Seriously, terrible. And it's just actively infuriating when someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, Forsnake, wants to try and say that they nailed representation. Fuck off, dude. No, there is basically nothing good here besides good ideas and that one good scene of Raiden, which on its own is good, but compared to everything else, not good. So, yeah, so now we summarize that. I'm going to summarize it. I went for nearly 24 minutes. My throat's fucking dying. But I'm not done. Like I said, I've got some just ideas. I shared a few, and most of them, if you read my fan fiction, well, I can't read one a lot there. I have a lot of representation because again, I treat it as equal to heterosexual stuff, right? Like it's an even thing. There's no one scales the other. That's what I try to do. I know they're a minority, but I don't want to present it as such in a fictional world, in a fictional story, where I don't even think homophobia exists, transphobia, I don't think any anti-LGBTQ plus stuff exists in realms other than Earth realm. That's my headcanon, right? Like, the Dev realm doesn't care. The heavens, if they were attacked, then why are they in heaven? Outworld, I don't know. I mean, Outworld clearly has sexism and racism, but let's not get into that. But you know, so again, fictional world stuff, it allows you to, because there's some things like why there's so many gay characters. Right, that's a question people have, and because it's a story, and you want to represent something, so you show it a lot to just have it be there, because there's not much with this representation. So you're trying to add a lot to something that there hasn't been any representation of, well, little to none, at least, for years prior. Like there's a bunch of hetero stuff, right? So in terms of having a bunch of gay couples in a story, that's fine. What's the problem? What is the problem? If it's handled the same as any other ship, then you could have a story where it's just gay couples as your ships, and that could be fine, depending on how you write, obviously. Like conceptually, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And in Modern Reborn, I have lots of just everything, because it's a pretty long story, and I can fit in all this. That's something I care about. I want to show off. Other fanfics like Mortal Kombat Requiem have lots of good stuff, really nice stuff. And it's not just sexuality. It's, trans characters. Just queer characters. Aromantic characters, asexual characters, like I mentioned before. Pansexual characters. That's sexuality, but we haven't touched pan characters. So yeah, there is so much representation. Non-binary characters, there's so much. So yeah, that's just a few, right? So I think we need to get as much as possible, right? If it's something you care about, if it's something you are knowledgeable about, something you want to share, then just write it. Why not? There is no reason to stop you from doing something if you truly cared about it, right? And Mortal Kombat doesn't care. That's why the representation in it sucks. That's why it's fanfic writers to not only fix the story, but make there be prominent and well-written representation that cares about LGBTQ plus subjects. Mortal Kombat doesn't care. And I don't think it will care anytime soon. I think the franchise is completely devoid of good content in general. And I think we've already moved on from the phase LGBTQ plus representation, since there was even less of it in MK11 somehow. The latest movies have none of it. That's another thing. Actually, Natara is... Apparently, the writer for Scorpion's Revenge said on Twitter that she's lesbian. However, I checked, and I can't find any trace of that writer on her Twitter saying Natara's name, let alone that she's lesbian. So I feel the person who told me this is just lying, because I have no proof. But I might as well share that as a possible thing. And if that's the case, then the movie coming right after, implying Natara is in a ship with Shang Tsung. What a terrible idea, by the way. Holy shit. The director for that movie is a fucking terrible person. Fucking hell. The comment they made justifying why Natara is helping Tsung is gross. It's just, ew, no. So yeah, really bad. Really bad. So yeah, and there's no representation in those. Even if that writer on Twitter, which I don't think they did, said Natara's lesbian, when Natara doesn't score in French, nothing. She does nothing. She is a cameo. It's so dumb. Do something with your characters. Yeah, those movies are terrible. And they just focus on, well, actually, the 2021 movie, besides the implication of Natara and Shang Tsung and Cole Young, let's not talk about Cole Young with his wife, really generic white person family, you know, but fucking hell. Besides that, there's not really any ships, right? And then MK Legends is just about Sonya X Chani and Lucana, what? Liu Kang and X Gadana, which are two very overrated ships. So yeah, fucking boring, and I think we're in for the long run of just boring dog shit storytelling. And we hadn't even seen any new concepts in a while. There's nothing going on. Representation. So I think there's not really any representation, really, which is a shame. So I think this is all we got in canon stuff for a while. So I just suggest anyone who's watching this and cares about representation in MK, just read some fanfics, right? Just find some stuff that actually cares. That's my suggestion. Read my fic, Morgan Reborn. Read ZR's fic, Requiem, Morgan Requiem. And there's lots of other stuff out there. So just have a look. I'll link. I think I will. Actually, I don't know. I don't, for some, I guess I don't think I want to put any advertised links, but I don't know. That's my suggestion for looking for representation in MK, because you're not going to find it in official MK. So, like I said, some character ideas. Natara being lesbian is a really neat idea. Just why not? Why not? Right? Like you again. Like I said, every character's straight. And every character is not established as straight, is what I meant to say. So you can add canon whatever. So that's good. And even if MK11 and MKX with their ancient dialogues tries to crush a lot of like headcanons by just randomly implying a do this ship, all those ship ideas they present in MK11 at least are terrible. Frost X Rain, are you fucking kidding me? Frost is like many consider to be a queer coded character, which is neat. Yeah, I condone. I condone what word? My words. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I like the idea of Russ as lesbian. Cassie being a bi character. The idea. And that's another thing, right? You have intro dialogues that imply that have off-screen love interest. Why not just have that, but like that dialogue with like fucking Dylan or whoever? That dialogue just helps show that Sonny's a terrible parent and a terrible human being who is not a likable hero whatsoever and fucking sucks in MK11. But beside that, you could just establish like how's things with you and like say like just a woman's name, right? Like why not? Like literally, what is stopping you from doing the bare minimum, MK? But you can't even do that. So yeah, like I just list a bunch of characters, right? Because I have so many. Hey guys, Ermac, non-binary Ermac. I feel that makes more sense than Ermac identifying as he, because he refers to himself as we are many, right? So gender fluid or non-binary, because Ermac is just a bunch of souls, and Ermac is actively aware that they are a bunch of souls. So yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, and also him being, I'm gonna say him just because that's the canonical gender identification he goes by currently. But you like in a hard reboot or whatever, in like I don't think you can obviously establish that they are non-binary. In Reborn, that's what I'm trying to do. Albeit I began with the fic by using he/him pronouns for him. I want to move away from that as he becomes more aware of what he is. So as I do the actual writing, how I like write it, I refer to him as they, them. Or at least, I hope I try to do that consistently, because I do mix up the pronouns. Just in general, right? Like I'll say Sonya. Sonya is in his... Like I'll just fuck up sometimes, but yeah, that's my thought process, and so I'm just thinking of stuff I do in my fanfic currently. as ideas, because I have a lot. So what else we got? Trans characters. Let's go trans characters, right? Okay, obviously hasn't heard of those. I'm kind of glad, because I don't trust them writing trans characters. Especially when Neverland Studios has a lot of allegations regarding them being a transphobic company. Shout out to Stephanie Brownback, though. She works for Neverland Studios. She's trans. She's very cool. One of the few cool people I've seen work for that company. Actually, I don't know I don't know everyone in the company personally. I've just heard bad things, and also I don't like what they make. So I know I don't respect many there. But yeah, she's nice. And she took away so much transphobic abuse, on the Kombat cast stuff, because she transitioned while doing those. So one episode just showed up as Stephanie, and before she was like, this is before she came out, right? So everyone was like, oh my god, why is she a woman? You know that dumb shit. Fuck these guys. The fandom sucks. The company sucks. The company is fueling this fandom's idiocy. What? I say that, but I'm fucking saying words that don't exist. But their idiotic behavior. Yeah. This is early in the morning, by the way. I just really want to record this, right? I just want to fucking do it. Maybe I should have prepped more, but I feel like I'm getting the point across clearly enough. And so who do I think make good trans characters? Takeda, there is concept art of her as a woman, or at least feminine coded, and jeez, he Takeda in the game itself still feels kind of feminine. So the idea that he transitioned from being a woman to a man is a cute idea. I wouldn't mind that. Again, it's added depth to Takeda, right? And again, we need that representation, because it's not there in MK. That's lame. I think it's Street Fighter that has trans representation. So it's already a thing in fighting game stuff. Really surprising. So just do it. Without sexualizing the trans character, though. Please stop, Street Fighter. Stop. But yeah, and again, there's a new character. You just bring in new characters. Like a lot of my OCs or LGBTQ plus presentations. And I think that's cool. You make new characters and remember stuff. But in existing characters, you can still bring these. You can still establish them as these things, and I think that's neat. And I think writers should do that to add diversity and just makes characters more unique if they have these experiences. If you have multiple other characters who have these similar LGBT experiences, you can have them come together and discuss these topics in a helpful and neat way, and that just strengthens their bond as characters, as well as just being a good message. I think it's an incredibly wasted thing he's done here, and I haven't even gone too deep into the idea I'm saying here, but there is so much neat stuff here, and it's just good to have the representation in general. But I genuinely, there's no reason not to have some good representation. MK is one of the fucking gayest franchises I've ever seen. Yet there's basically no canon representation. There is so much stuff that I can headcanon as LGBTQ plus related. It is insane. But yeah, let's go into some ships as well, right? I'm often thinking of ships what characters pair well together. Thinking not just opposite sex stuff, but also same sex stuff can make you realize some really good same sex couples. Which I don't think anyone else think of when making ships. Let's look at it. Jade X Lime, my favourite ship, because they're both freedom fighters, they're both kind, they're both caring about friends and whatnot. All that good stuff. Which is perfect for them as a premise for them being coupled, because they have a lot of common. And then there you go. You've got two LGBTQ plus representatives, and then you also have another same-sex couple represent, just like that. So simple. And it's a really lovely ship idea. And it's playing a JDX co because, oh my god, that ship's abysmal. They have nothing in common, and like, Jimmy May, It's also, ships of just pairing friends together. It's a sound idea. I don't see why not, Smoke X Sub-Zero, Guitar X Shade. Those work, right? There's no real issue with doing those. So, yeah, there's so many stuff you can do. So many stuff. And then I am just touching the surface here. I have not dug deep. Because I'd be here for hours. I could go over these concepts for hours. I have a lot of ships. I have a lot of representation in my fanfic. I've read another fanfic, Mortal Kombat Requiem, like I said. Really good fic. It has a lot more other representation stuff going on. There is so much going on with LGBTQ plus representation that MEK is wasting the potential of, right? I could do so much good stuff that could actually help people, and I'm not doing it. Which sucks, but this is the world of WB and NRS being at the steering the ship, of this franchise. That is just going downhill, and even the fucking NRS fans are realizing it, because not many people like MK11 if you didn't realise. And I even like the gameplay, and I send loads of NRS fans hate the gameplay. So yeah. MK12, they need to do something good. I doubt they will. And if they fail, fuck up with that. And by the way, I doubt MK12 will have representation as well. Especially if we're apparently going back to the times of Great Kung Lao. Like, no fucking way there's going to be any queer characters. You kidding me? No fucking way. No way. So yeah, that's going to suck if they do that. I don't think they will, but whatever they do is going to be bad anyway. Because you've only got Dominic as your writer. That sounds bad. Like, him alone writing the story, not good. And I don't think this heterosexual white man particularly gives a fuck about putting representation into the story. So yeah, I think we're just going to continue to go downhill. So this video is no attempt to tell Nevermore Studios, because I don't watch this. I don't watch anyone's videos. I don't watch Fortnite stuff. Even though he likes to think that. But nobody, they don't. So yeah, I just want to talk about it. So before I keep rambling on, I think I might as well just close the video there. If you want me to go over some more ideas or share more stuff, go into depth on an idea, just do a part 2 rambling out something, rambling out representation, obviously, or just something else. I don't know, just let me know in the comments. I don't know your thought. I want to discuss this. I discuss it a lot. Yeah, that's my ramble over. Try my best to word this all correctly. So excuse any mistakes. I didn't write a proper script. I don't want to write a proper script. I just want to say off the heart, really. And yeah, so that's me done for today. I don't know when I'm going to post this. I think I might I'm recording this on Tuesday. I think I want to get out soon, instead of waiting for the weekend where I have an opening to just post whatever video I want instead of a DA contest video. So I think I'm not going to do an Armageddon fight at midnight. And instead, this will be the video you're seeing. Because I think this is more important, and it's something that I want to share before anything else, really. But yeah, and I will go now. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Love you. Bye.